YouTube, I'm Jack Stern, and this is the Rec Center, your place for the latest and greatest hip-hop from today and yesterday. Today I'm going to be giving you the rundown on 4 of the most slept-on albums from some of your favorite rappers. Number 1, Killer Mike, Pledge 3. Before Killer Mike became a hip-hop sensation with Run the Jewels, he was a mildly successful Atlanta rapper, releasing a trilogy of projects under the I Pledge Allegiance to the Grind title. Now, Pledge 3 might not have the same show-stopping production from LP that helped bolster his career in 2012 with his solo album Rap Music. However, Killer Mike is just as capable of a rapper here as he is today. His southern drawl is just as captivating, and his lyricism is still on point. The song American Dream is like a proto-version of the song Reagan, giving us more of a taste of that political activist side of Killer Mike. The strongest material on this project lies mostly in the first half, as most of the beats there are more focused on providing a grandiose and soulful vibe for Killer Mike to get comfortable with. Then you got tracks like Ready, Set, Go, which take the sampling in a more groovy and dirty direction. Although the second half of this project often gets mired in hooks that are really too sentimental and generic for their own good, I think the inclusion of a track with so many Ric Flair samples is enough to redeem this project of any faults. Number 2, Vince Staples, Shine Cold Chain Volume 2. Vince Staples' career really took off after his 2014 EP Hell Can Wait. People seldom go back and reference his earlier work though, especially this stellar mixtape Shine Cold Chain Volume 2. This mixtape shows Vince flexing his knack for vivid imagery while delivering some very solid flows. The beats here are consistently addictive for the most part. The Scoop DeVille produced Nate is probably my favorite instrumental, with its ear-catching bells, thumping bass, and boisterous brass section. The hook on the song is equally intriguing as Vince raps about riding around the city with the seat back, while delivering verses chronicling his childhood hopes and dreams as his family struggled to live in the ghetto. No ID, who would later go on to produce Vince's debut album, Summertime '06, also has a lot of choice cuts on here. Overall, this is a very solid project for Vince, and it does a great job of showcasing his talents over a collection of very focused and bumping beats. Number 3, Danny Brown, The Hybrid. Danny Brown received widespread attention after his release of 2011's XXX, and his career only gained further critical acclaim after he released Atrocity Exhibition a year ago. Both of these albums artfully chronicled Danny Brown's graphic and drug-fueled escapades in the harsh streets of Detroit. It's rare that anybody references Danny's pre-XXX work though. Now, the beats here aren't quite as adventurous or outlandish as on XXX, much less Atrocity Exhibition, but that's not really a big fault here. If you just want to hear Danny really getting the room to lay down some bars with minimal distractions, then this is the album for you. And even though the beats are often simple in structure, they still do a great job of matching Danny's often wacky intonation and having a great sense of variety throughout the album. From the mystical electronic beats of Greatest Rapper Ever and New Era to the ripping guitars on White Stripes and the conveniently named guitar solo, you're not going to be bored by any of the sounds at play here. Lyrically, Danny develops even more of his skills for painting the bleakest pictures of drugs and poverty. Just like on his other albums, you would be sorely mistaken if you thought it was Danny's intent to glorify the trap lifestyle he depicts here. This is especially apparent on the Brenda's Got a Baby analog Juno and the Food Stamps anthem Thank God. Danny even takes the time to bring out his less yelpy delivery on the prescription drug anthem Generation RX. If you consider yourself a Danny Brown fan in any capacity, then this is a must listen for sure. Number 4, Lupe Fiasco, Tetsuo and Youth. The words smooth and career aren't exactly synonymous with Lupe Fiasco. His career moves more like a roller coaster with some high highs and some low lows. Lupe had to fight for a while to get this passion project released, and his personal passion is evident right down to the cover art which Lupe made himself. Although I wouldn't say this album is traditionally underrated, as it did receive a decent amount of critical attention upon release, I think it's definitely on its way to being overlooked and forgotten about as the years go on. Following the release of the pop rap train wreck Lasers and the very preachy and ham-fisted Food and Liquor 2, people were really starting to write off Lupe at this point in his career. A lot of people felt like the days of the Cool and Food and Liquor 1 were gone, and the result of this was a lot of people overlooking an album with some of Lupe's best material to date. The opener of the album, Mural, features Lupe just rapping his ass off for an entire 8 minutes with no break for a hook. Then you've got the conscious banger Deliver, where Lupe draws a parallel between the pizza man refusing to deliver to the ghetto and the piece of man failing to reach the same neighborhood. You also can't forget the beautiful dots and lines with this esoteric banjo intro and its very lush instrumental. That's not to say this album is without fault though. There's more than a few tracks here with some forgettable features and grating hooks, but when Lupe fires on all cylinders on this project, he creates his own brand of hip-hop that hopefully isn't going to be overlooked years from now. That about does it for my list. Thanks for watching folks, and I'll see you next video.